All right, we are live, and this is the part that I usually cut off when I edit this back later because I'm waiting for people to get here. Da 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 da. Hello, people. Come on in. Da 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 da. We have. Well, that's just me. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very impromptu Nerdzoic live stream. Impromptu in that I only scheduled it like 2 weeks ago, but remembered that I needed to set it up 5 minutes before. I have a very special guest with me today. His name is Daker, like Acre, but with a D. And he is a creator of a new toy line. So I know you guys love it when I talk businessy toy behind the scenes stuff. So I'm sure we're going to do lots of that today. I will hit the chat every couple minutes to try to make sure I hit you guys and get your questions. And yeah, we're going to just immediately go off. And I'm going to say, all right, kind sir, tell me about yourself.
Hi, I'm Daker. I'm from New Hampshire, local native here. Father of 5 kids and ready to start my own action figure line based on the Bible. They're called Almighty Legends. Um, yeah, so we're actually going to be starting with the 3 archangels, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse in the Kickstarter, and then we have some good stretch goals coming up as well. And then more about me, just that I started off as a customizer back in I think 2009 when G.I. Joe the movie came out, under the name of Lowlight 27, and just through that just met a bunch of just cool designers and actual people within the industry, and kind of just got all the information I could from them and just kind of just absorbed it. And that way, now that I'm at this point where I'm about to launch my own Kickstarter for my own figure line, I'm just really excited to be able to do this. I've actually teamed up with a great company called Power Kid Design. They're out of Tennessee, and they've been actually helping with all the production as well. So I'm really excited about that.
Very cool. So let's kind of knock a couple things out of the way real quick, and I'll probably bring them back multiple times. But as far as details on the Kickstarter, guys, I will be linking to all of Almighty Legends, which is the name of the line, all of the information throughout my social media later today so everyone can get a shot at it. There's the beautiful logo. It looks like box art. I love it. But what's the date real quick on the Kickstarter starting?
So the date we picked was 2/22/23, which is actually the first day of Lent.
Oh, that's perfect.
So we're gonna do a 45-day Kickstarter, with everything, and everything goes well. We should have a nice production line. We're actually, because I do already have a production company that I'm working with, everything's kind of lined up with manufacturing, so I don't have to really worry too much about that, where I'm not kind of going at it just on my own. I actually have a company that's helping back me on this. So we're shooting for Christmas launch, knock on wood, but it's probably, with everything that I'm seeing, might go into early 2024. So
I'd imagine, just because I know the lines that I'm involved in that are made to order for Horsemen, namely, their next production estimate is May of 2024. So I know we got a while.
Yeah.
So, got a lot of people asking. So for the Kickstarter, are we going to have straight up images? Or are we going to have renders, or are we going to have prototypes?
So we currently have 2 working prototypes. The latest one we have is with Azrael. So we'll have him working. We also have a Gabriel prototype within that, and then but for the 4 horsemen and the other 2 archangels, right now we're going to have renders.
Okay,
just
awesome.
So we get to that point where
awesome,
we're ready to kind of do everything. But we have everything's kind of lined up with our the tooling and the manufacturing and everything. So we're kind of.
So where are your nerves right now? What level? Yeah,
I'd say about a 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your biggest fear going into this?
Biggest fear right now, I would say, is the baseline amount of people of support. That's what I'm learning a lot, is that in marketing and stuff, is that in order for this to be successful, to be able to get to the goal where I need to be, you have to have at least 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
And right now I'm hovering around 2,000. So just
Well,
trying
I
to
mean,
learn ways to
yeah,
strategize.
I see what you're saying. I don't think that's going to be too big of an issue for you, so that might actually make you
Mhm.
feel better. Uh, you know, the big thing I'm seeing actually that kind of would scare me is it seems like there's been a couple surprising fails in toy
Oh, yeah.
Kickstarters recently.
Yeah.
What were the most recent ones with the ogre looking faces? I forget their
Yes.
names.
That was actually, we were gonna actually start the Kickstarter in December, but then what I've been learning is that December is like the worst time to actually
Yeah.
start one, like around Christmas, because nobody has money then just to like to put into like a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Where you find your better, more successful Kickstarters are usually around springtime, like around tax season.
Yeah. That makes
So
sense.
you're starting to have some money left over, and the way that we have it priced out, they're going to be reasonably priced, which is nice for the Kickstarter at least.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have you already mapped out like stretch goals and what your
Oh yeah.
goals are in general?
Yeah, we have several stretch goals, including accessory packs. We're gonna have some head packs, wing
Okay.
packs, weapons packs. The ultimate goal is I want to try to make it more also pleasing for like the customizer. That you basically can design your own angel, your own dredge figure.
Cool.
One idea I had was actually to do like, well, you can design your own four horsemen as well, where you get like the packs and you kind of design put it all together for yourself.
Yeah. All right, let me move over to the chat for a quick minute, like I promised I would. So, guys, if you can't tell by the vanilla-looking screen, I literally have it labeled emergency screen. So all of my live assets, like all my files, everything, I moved them and I can't find them, and now it can't connect. So this is what we got. I can't even put your I don't even know why it won't even let me put the chat on screen, but thank you, Ecamm Live, for that one. So I'll just read them out. Da-da-da-da-da-da. All right, coming back to where I was.
Oh, I can see it now too.
Can you see it on your screen? Well, there's something. I
Up
still
in
think
my right hand, yeah, comments from live viewers.
Okay, cool. Well, then at least we both can. I still think the first action figure toy line was the Nativity set. Okay, that's an interesting one. All right, let's move past
Yeah, I
that.
remember. Yeah, my mom used to get upset when I would put my GI Joes in the nativity set.
They probably scaled somewhat well.
Yeah.
Let's say, is Saint Michael in the works?
Yeah. So Saint Michael is one of the three archangels. Kind of give you a background with me as well as that. So in a religious perspective, I'm a journeyman. I'm a Christian. I'm in the Catholic faith. My wife, who I married, she's Catholic, and just kind of learning from her and just like everything with being Catholic and just kind of who the saints were and which ones to use. Where I'm going to be utilizing the three main saints, which is Saint Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael. And then if we do like the stretch goals and stuff like that, we'll move on to the actual seven saints, which were represented by like the days of the week.
Nice. That's super cool.
Yeah.
We have like opposite religious backgrounds. I started Catholic, and now I'm just kind of unilateral Christian at this point.
Yeah.
So I was raised Catholic. My wife was raised Missouri Sinai Lutheran, which is just another way of saying Catholic without the Pope.
So I was Episcopalian, so
we did that for a while. We did that for a couple of years. We did a little bit of everything. So we actually had what I call the Great Church Tour of the early 2010s, where when we first got together, we're like, all right, we need to find a home church and find something that we feel comfortable in. And like, I have so many crazy stories. Like, we have one church where I went in and there was just a lot of stuff we weren't huge fans of. And we did the Catholic Church for a while, but the one rule that was like a deal breaker for us was we don't have any Catholic family practicing, and we needed godparents.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, and they would we don't make exceptions. Here's Mary. Mary can be your godmother, and I'm like, I don't know Mary. We just met. So that was a bad one for us. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like I was at a Catholic funeral couple of weeks ago, and like my wife goes, I don't miss this traditional style of mass and the burning of the incense, and I'm just like, yeah, I do miss this
Oh, yeah.
because like we go to a non-denominational church, and I tell her every week, I'm like, I feel like I just went to a concert.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I don't need the like
The
all
rock
I
and roll
need when I go to church is the 25-minute whether we're calling it a homily in Catholicism, a sermon, whatever we're calling it. That's all I need. I'm not a musical guy. So so when I get like the 25-minute song, and then of course I got to go like super critique of it. I'm like, listen, how many times do we have to have the same refrain in the song? I get
Oh,
the
yeah.
point, like, oh, it drives me nuts. But anyway, I got all sorts of great questions in here that I want to hit to hear if it's crossed your mind yet. So let me
Okay.
kind of move up some. Moses with a burning bush would be super cool.
Yeah, so that will so like I was saying before, so when this is successful, my plan is to kind of move from the angels and the four horsemen and the dredge and the heralds to move over to like the actual book itself with like the Old Testament, the New Testament, and then notable heroes is what we're gonna do. So yeah, the plan is with the Old Testament is to do a lot of like army builders, and the nice thing is with the dredge and the angels is we'll have the actual base body for a giant. So we'll actually have Goliath, because I want to
Okay,
actually incorporate some 4-inch figures as well. Eventually, when we do the go into the Bible series, so I'm going to do like packs where it's kind of like a story pack.
that's awesome. Yeah, because there's a lot of questions like that in here. Everyone's like, all right, St. Paul needs to come with a sword. Someday we need a St. Joan of Arc. Don't
Yeah, yeah,
disagree.
that's actually the Saint Joan of Arc was how it all started.
Oh,
My
really?
friend from the Knights of Columbus, he said, I want a Joan of Arc figure. Why are there no cool action figures based on the Bible? So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
I got one guy, Fotzilla says to let you know if you need a Noah's Ark diorama set at any point whenever Noah
Oh
comes
yeah.
along.
So my plan was for the Noah's Ark was actually to do it as kind of like the old Darth Vader, those figure cases.
Okay.
Where the actual arc will open up and you can put your figures on the inside, on the inside of it, so that you have a figure case.
Oh, you could
It'd be
have
this.
so much fun with that. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
this is like, I'm like going like crazy talk here, but imagine if you did like a Jabba's sailbarge sized arc.
Oh yeah.
So like 48 inches. You have all the different windows with like the giraffe sticking their heads out. That would be so
Yeah.
cool. And whenever you get yelled at by your significant other for having too many toys, like, it's for teaching. Oh, all right, we have Greg Martinez asking about demons. Now, you did talk about the dread. Do you want to talk about that a little bit more? Because I know you said that's the antagonist.
Yeah. So the antagonist is called the dredge, which is the evil that we dredge up from the ground. So the way I'm interpreting it is you have the heralds of heaven, which are like your army of angels, and then you have the dredge, which is like just the evil from the ground that we kind of bring out through ourselves, and that's where you have the demons and the legions of Lucifer. So
Very cool. Any Lucifer himself in the works?
there is something in the works for Lucifer. We're gonna try to do it so that it's gonna be Lucifer the accuser.
Okay.
So that's where Lucifer kind of comes in. It's more we're trying to see ways that we can incorporate like the 7 deadly sins with it as well.
Very nice. That would be
Yeah.
super cool. Yeah, because you could do like you'd have like your gluttony
Hmm.
monster. It's just like a super large dude. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I like that idea.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got here? Jesus in the temple, cleansing of the temple. Yeah, so we'd have to come with a table to flip over. Sounds great.
Yeah, a little spring action.
Yeah. Samson, so I can put him up against my Marvel Legends Hulk.
Oh
Can't
yeah.
argue with that.
Yeah.
Greg says HasLab's going to do Noah's Ark. They'll probably mess it up.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. Joshua Kincaid asking for the Buddy Christ. I don't think we're going to see the Buddy Christ. That's I think that's a Kevin Smith copyright right there. He'll probably come after us real quick.
Yeah.
Here's a very more specific question. How articulated are you envisioning? Are you thinking more Marvel Legends or more static like McFarlane? Uh-oh, look what we got, folks.
So they're going to be very much like Marvel Legends, Marvel Legends, and GI Joe. The actual design came from Siba Dom. He's on Instagram. He was actually a designer with Mythic Legends. So yeah, you'll have double jointed knees, ankles, rotation, uh, thigh rotation, double jointed elbows, two sets of hands, the neck, and then the armor plates themselves. They're all removable and they're all customizable. Right now with the skirting though, we're trying to work on ways of either making it so the back skirt is actually plastic and the front skirt is going to be soft goods. And then I would like to put something right here in the belt buckle. And then
Okay.
I think this part here in the chest, don't mind this, is actually probably going to change as well.
Awesome. Very cool. So is it from a cost standpoint, is it cheaper to do soft goods or plastic for the skirt piece?
It doesn't really affect it. I mean, you're right now it's all going to come down to tooling.
Yeah.
And tooling, that's where you're going to spend a lot of the money is going to go into tooling and your prototype. So you have the thing called MOQ, which is your minimum order quantity. You have to get, so for us, we were actually able to negotiate it down to a reasonable amount. So it's only going to be 3,000 that we'd have to sell.
Okay. Very cool. That's someone just said that they can use their Toy Biz blob as gluttony, and I concur. Perfect.
Yeah. See, again, I mean, I love it. The custom, that's where I came from, was as a customizer. Like I love looking and finding parts and just saying, okay, I can make it through this way, do it this way. It's all about your imagination. So
Nice. Pedro says he loves that the first sin that came to mind for gluttony, what for me was gluttony, and yep, that's about right. But I would like to report here and now for the first time ever. What are we, 9 days in? Big Nerdy's down 11 pounds, folks. Big
nice.
Nerdy's going to be medium-sized nerdy at the rate we're going. All right, what else we got? Reminds me of Castlevania. That's a very cool comparison. And we got some wings here.
So here's some wings. It's kind of hard to see how I can do this. But yeah, so I've engineered the wings so they'll fold in all the way in, and you can actually have them so they create like a shield around the body, and they'll actually flip up. And I've engineered it so that there's, kind of see, where's my mirror? So see there's like a little black circular pegs right here, and what that allows it to do is actually twist.
Oh, that is super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way you did those. That's one of my complaints, not complaints, but it's one of my struggles with the Mythic Legion's wings is I believe there's one joint in them, and I just can't get them to work and get them how I want them.
Again, this is just a prototype, so it will actually be a lot more secure and not loose like
of course.
This when they come out.
Yeah, of course. So you said around 3,000. So is that going to be the goal for the Kickstarter as far as total backers?
Well, that's 3,000 units. So
per each, yeah.
Yeah, per SKU. But it all comes out where you work from retail and you work from your cost. Mm-hmm. So were to get 3,000 units, I would have to sell 2,000 or 2,500, whatever it is, with the actual retail cost of what it is.
Gotcha.
But with the Kickstarter, you're going to pay less because it's going directly to the consumer, whereas I'm not selling it through like Big Bad Toy Store, who's actually is interested, and they're actually going to.
That was going to be my next question: is who do you have as retail partners yet? They
right
usually...
now we have a Kickstarter. We have Big Bad Toy Store, and then I've also been reaching out to Entertainment Earth, so I haven't heard back from them though. But they're.
Do you have a contact there? If not, I can get you some.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I'll probably dip my toes in too, just because it's a new toy line. Generally, I'm always in for anything that's not Hasbro or Mattel, just because I want other things to go well. But also, I love the idea for this line. I think it's just super, super cool.
Another thing, awesome. So another thing I wanted to go touch on is the lower wings. So the Deluxe Angels, they have two sets of wings. They're Seraphim, meaning they have multiple sets of wings. And what I've designed it is that if you look at sorry, it's hard to see, but the little peg um, that fits in the back of the figure is actually smaller than the top peg.
Ah,
And as a customizer, you can actually drill a hole in like a boss fight figure, and those will fit in as well.
very
So
cool.
again, I'm trying to get towards the the 4-inch market as well.
Do you have the page up for the Kickstarter yet?
Um, well, I don't know if I can do that yet because I'm still kind of new to it, but I have everything all set up with the Kickstarter. If
Okay.
I can share the link yet,
So
because it
everybody
hasn't
who's
actually
asking for
launched
the
until the
link,
22nd.
yeah, everyone who's asking for the link, if we don't have it today, I'll be without a doubt sharing this with you. So make sure you're either on my socials or my email list. I'm sure if you're in this live, you probably are. So I'll get you the link once the timing is right. Uh,
Yeah.
for those of you just joining us, I'm talking with the creator, Daker, of Almighty Legends, which is a brand new toy line coming soon to Kickstarter that is focused on the Bible, for lack of a better word. And it sounds pretty cool. So for those of you who join late, I do recommend you go back and start from the beginning because I'll be leaving this up. But we're going to continue on to more questions from our group. I think I saw someone left a super chat. Whoever that was, thank you, but I can't see it. I got an alert, but I can't even see who sent it. So leave me a message if you had a question or something inside of the chat here. I feel so stupid with technology today. Let's see. So the figure you originally had up, which one was that?
So this is Azrael.
Okay. The question
So
was, has it?
angel of death.
Yeah,
So
eagle
everyone is
head, so
full
more
horsemen.
serifs. So are they all going to be more serifs than humanoid? Is the question I got here?
So for the 3 archangels, yes, the 3 archangels will be seraphim, and then the 4 horsemen, they're not going to be winged. So, I mean, with the three remaining horsemen won't have wings, but they'll have the holes in the back, so you could customize them to have wings if you wanted. So you have war. So I'm doing it with war, conquest, and famine, and then Azrael and death. But so I know people ask about like pestilence and famine. So mine is going to be more famine that brings a pestilence.
Okay, awesome. Will stands be coming with the figures?
So stands, we're actually working on a base. It's
Oh,
going to be a little bit smaller than this, and it will actually. We're working on a way where we're actually going to have it so you can take one of those little tap lights you get at Walmart and
nice.
put it in it, and it will light up as well.
Oh, that's super cool.
And then, speaking of translucence, is that we're actually working. One of the things we're going to be doing for this early stretch goals, like I was saying, for customizers, is we're going to offer blank figures, and I really like translucent figures, so that's what we're going to be doing is make sure we're going to have a translucent figure, which I think would be really cool when you light it up to be able to see through it as well. So.
Nice. Yeah, that's super cool. I love that idea of adding some light to it. Pedro, no offense to me, brother. You know me. I just thought I'd share. Let's see. Critical Enjoyer says he might be all in once he sees this. Awesome. The name of the line, for those asking, is Almighty Legends. You'll have your Marvel Legends shelf and you'll have your Almighty Legends shelf. What scale are they? They are 1/12 scale. However, you're going to have some bigger figures to go with it and some smaller because that's the size of the person or creature.
Yeah, the other thing so what I'm trying to utilize too for like the more 1/18 scale market is if you actually look at the details on the figures themselves. Oh, sorry, you'll see like the dents and like the marks on them. Oh, why is it going this way? This way. So the dents and the marks, they're actually small indents, so it would look like it came from a smaller figure. So you can use them with a 4-inch figure, but they'd be more like a giant compared to one, which is part of the whole line is that they're celestial beings. So angels were taller than men. They would be 10 feet tall to a 6-foot person.
Yeah, that's
So,
super cool.
and then this is one great thing is when you break a $5,000 prototype,
Oh,
yep, you get stuck with.
actually less than I thought. So that's encouraging. Oh, that looks great.
So there's Gabriel. That's one of his heads. He has two heads that he comes with. Each one will come with 2 different heads.
Awesome.
There's one of them, and then the way I'm kind of designing is I want them to look like more bird-like,
Yeah.
and then also animalistic in ways. With Gabriel, he has more of like a cat-like head as well, and the halos are kind of integrated within the actual helmet design. So,
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that.
yeah.
That is super cool.
Well, there goes that. And then
I
I want
love
to kind of make them use like cool weapons where Azure will come with like his nice sheath. It's not sheath. Scythe, and Gabriel will have a shofar because he was the voice of God. And then he has a what we call a Halidi blade, which was a Syrian weapon. It's like a dagger. That's let's see, let me get this right. Yep. It's like a double-sided dagger blade sword for him.
That's awesome. Padre has a great idea of the lamb from Revelation with 7 eyes. That sounds quite scary.
Yeah. But I have been contemplating this whole idea of like having an alternate head for one of them be an accurate angel, like the way that you have the circle in the middle, and you have the two axis points.
Yeah.
Rotate around it with all the eyes and the wings that come out of it.
Oh yeah, that'd be
like a true
awesome.
seraphim.
Sergeant Sal with a very good comment and something for us to talk about. He goes, he loves the idea as a Catholic, but he's curious to know if you're nervous about how it's going to perform based on how Christianity is looked at these days.
Well, see, I think part of it too is I want to kind of get the general audience in by starting with the more fantasy side of things with the angels and the four horsemen. That's where I'm hoping to grab that kind of like the bigger pool of collectors. As far as with we view Christianity and stuff like that, I want to kind of give it more of a broad stroke, but make it so that there is a conversation for it, so people can say, okay, let me know more about this, or I don't agree with this, here's why. I want to have an open conversation about it, but I'm not here to say, okay, this religion is one way, this one's the other way. Part of what I'm doing too is with a few of the designs we originally worked with, we're actually looking at other religious cultures as well.
Oh, that'd be really cool to do. That'd be very, very cool. Personally, I think you're going to end up seeing like, I don't know, 1-2% of people who are just like, nope, not for me. Just the word, just starting with Christian, I'm out,
Yeah.
But that's hardly gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Epi Ocampo, editor of Nerdzoic, is in the house, and also my brother in Christ, so I'm sure he loves this. Epi, do you ever sleep? I don't think you do, because it's 3 a.m. in the morning on your side of the world. So,
Oh wow.
What else we got?
And it was interesting. So my original designer, the guy that was helping me with it, is Calvin Lowe. He's also another customizer. He was saying there's a large Asian market as well that is looking for something like this, like a Christian based, action figure.
That makes sense. Epi's over in the Philippines.
Okay, there you go.
Cool. That's going to be interesting to distribute, though. I'm very curious to see how that goes. Like, I hate shipping anywhere but Canada, just because it seems like something bad always happens in customs at another country. That yeah. What else we got?
Antique place, and I remember that.
Oh yeah. Rough price for an average figure. Do you have that figured out yet?
Yes. So rough price right now for the Kickstarter. So if you're going to buy it direct on the Kickstarter, is about $45 for a deluxe figure.
So a deluxe type figure is going to be around $45
figure with the wings and everything. And then, but if you were to buy it, say at like Big Bad Toy Store or like a retail, it's probably going to be about $55, $65.
Okay.
Depending on what they're going to mark it up to.
Yeah. So. Very cool. Do you follow anything about how the Four Horsemen do their stuff? with the Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions?
Just as a fan, but not really anything like
From a
behind the
business end,
scenes
they
or anything.
handle it really well. Like they
Yeah.
enforce a minimum advertised price policy so that, one big retailer can't undercut everybody. Yeah, there's a lot that I've learned so much from just being around them. Like
Yeah.
but it's
I,
pretty
I had
crazy.
I had reached out to them, but they came back and said, "Oh, well, it looks like your product may be similar to something that we're working on as well,
Mm,
so we don't want to cross paths right now
yeah,
with
that
it."
makes sense.
So, and it does totally make sense. It's just fine. I'm just glad that they were nice enough to let me know because I was just asking them for help with ideas and how to get it all going with price points and stuff. So,
Yeah, totally. Uh let's see. We're way behind in chat actually now, so let me just read some out here. Some amazing details on these figures from Trippin' Ninja. Can't agree more. What's the name of the line? A couple more of those since you got for those joining late. It is Almighty Legends. There's the t-shirt. Shows you. We just crossed over the 100 viewers mark, so everybody who's at work watching and pretending that you're not watching for your boss, I thank you. Uh, Kenny Williaman, I think I'm saying that right, loves the base. Finally, someone that gets people sometimes want dioramas to show off their figures. I saw another comment about how the packaging reminds him of NECA. Agreed.
yeah. So the packaging, I'm kind of on board with Hasbro with the whole like zero plastic stuff. Um, so I've designed it as a old family Bible.
Okay.
So you see the pages and everything there.
Ah,
And you open it up like a book, and it actually has a magnet as
oh,
well
nice.
on both sides. And there's going to be like a quote or a story within here with the actual the character art, which I was lucky enough to get one of the guys who does Dungeons and Dragons. I found him on what was it, Deviant Art, and
Okay.
he's actually designing all the character designs for me for the package art.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then we'll have like they'll have like a volume number, the name of the character, so if people want to do like a mint on card, they can just put it
Yeah.
right on their shelf like that, and they'll have the different volumes, and then you have the wording on the back with the picture.
See, generally, I can't stand the plastic free stuff just because I think in the case of Hasbro, it's just a trope to save money and give them a talking point.
Yep.
But there are now two exceptions to that rule for me. The first was the VHS X-Men collection because it was a
Oh yeah, I have
creative
that
way to
over
do the
there.
boxes, right?
Yeah.
Yours, I'll give the exception to too because I like the creativity and making it's not just a box with the picture of the figure on it. That drives me nuts.
Oh yeah. Me too.
Especially when the figure looks better on the box, then you open it and it's like, oh look, it's single jointed elbows, not
Yeah.
double, and all that.
Especially those new the movie Dungeons and Dragons figures.
Yeah.
Uh,
Those things, they're breaking like there's no tomorrow,
okay.
I'm hearing too. Let's see. Is that a Dr. Pepper I was drinking? No, it was my afternoon iced coffee, my cold brew, and now it is gone. Can't drink Dr. Pepper on a diet. I think I've only had like 400 calories today, so.
Yeah, another thing oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
I was just gonna say it was so if you saw the T-shirt, we're actually going to be doing a kind of a side project of this whole thing because it is Christian based. I want to actually give back to the community, so we're going to be doing a thing called Almighty Collectibles, where any of the merchandise that I sell at shows and online on my own site is going to actually all the profits will go to our local town food pantry and homeless outreach program. Where
Oh, that's
eventually,
awesome.
what I'm trying to do is put together a sort of an art program for our local homeless, so they can get like a journal, and we're going to teach art classes as well. Try to get an hour or two off the streets, and you just can get together and talk about art and stuff like that. So
That's very cool. So I'm going through the comments, and good news for you, not a single negative, lots of positive all the way through.
that's
Even
awesome.
on prices, basically what this critical enjoyer, the pricing is fine. Basically what Marvel Legends will be in about a year.
Probably, yeah, pretty much.
Absolutely. That's the one kind of good thing, if you can call it that, about the Hasbro craziness is that it is making more expensive, better figures look like a better value.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, it's crazy that we live in that world, but Like, I don't know how much. Actually, let's kind of hit that. What do you collect? 'Cause I see a lot
Um,
behind you.
yeah, I've got Transformers, Star Wars, GI Joe. Those are my big three
Big three.
for the lines. Yeah.
Okay, so we're pretty
Uh,
close.
yeah, I'm kind of cutting back though on the Star Wars Black stuff. I'm trying just to do the ones I really like. Where before I was like, oh, I'll get that one. I'll get all these troops, but pretty much I'm huge GI Joe fan. And I've cut back on Marvel Legends though, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to. But my original passion kind of got me back into collecting was Gundam model kits.
Really? Okay. I know absolutely nothing about them, and I've
I
been
don't know anything either, so
really.
I like the kits. I like to build them.
Well, yeah,
Oh, that's
even
a
from
cool
a
model.
retail standpoint, like I keep looking at that as like maybe I need to be in this market because
Yeah,
you know, I have a retail store. We're growing like gangbusters, and it's like I'm always looking for the next thing to carry, the next big thing. It's like
yeah.
every day I'm looking, and then half the time I end up failing, and we have a shelf of Funko Pops I can't get rid of.
Oh yeah.
But most of the time it works out pretty well. All right, what else we got going on here? How many total figures is there going to be for the Kickstarter again? We've already went over it, but let's go over it again.
So we're looking at 10 total figures for unique characters. Those are going to be the four horsemen, the three archangels, and then if the stretch goal, then we're going to have the blank figures, accessory packs, wing packs, armor packs, and head packs, weapon packs, and then we'll have hopefully three characters as well. Lucifer, and then one called Legion, which is kind of the leader of the Legion of Lucifer, and then the third was going to be just a herald, but
Nice.
more. So it's going to be 10 is what I'm looking for total, but my initial goal is 7.
Awesome. And we've already announced this, but a couple questions on the beginning of the Kickstarter. You want to go over that and the significance of the date again?
So it's February 22nd, 2023. Significance being that it's February. It's the first day of Lent. It's going to be the first day of Lent, and it's going to be a 45-day campaign. So at the end of Lent is Easter, and then you have a couple more days to make sure your bank account's all ready to go.
Yeah. Plunderlings are in the house. Good to see you guys. The almost won the Nerdy this year for best independent toy. Dun dun dun. You're gonna have to wait till like the 2024 Nerdies to have a shot at that.
Oh yeah, I've always wanted to get one of those. My buddy Dan, Toy Galaxy,
Yeah.
he was showing some of those off. Those look really cool. The Plunderlings. Yeah,
All right. Oh yeah, you're in New Hampshire. Do you live near Dan?
I do. Yeah, he's just the next town down.
Hmm,
Yeah,
that's funny. It's one
yeah.
of the few people that I have not had any talkings to in my couple of years on YouTube. We've just never crossed paths at any
Oh,
shows or anything.
yeah, he's a good dude. I like
Yeah.
him. He actually the two toy shows that I hosted, he actually did both of them, which was
Oh,
awesome.
nice.
Yeah, it was like when before he was like a million subscribers type thing, where he's just
Yeah.
kind of getting
Yeah,
there.
there's a small one down by me that he did because I actually sold at it this year, and I was going through their past years, and it's like 2016. There's a young looking Dan Larson as their headline guest, and I'm
Oh,
like, oh,
nice.
he was probably so tiny here.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Another cool thing is the Boss Fight Studio guys.
Hmm.
They did both my shows too, which is really cool. It was like back in the day.
Quinn Comics talking to me about Gundams. You're gonna have to hit me up, Quinn. I need to know more for business purposes. We'll hit that one on a non-live stream. Holy Trinity 3-pack coming down the line. There's an interesting
Yep. So
one.
that's what I was saying is like when we go into the Old and New Testaments, like actual books, I want to do 3 packs, 4 packs, and 2 packs.
Nice.
So you'll have Cain and Abel, Adam and Eve, the Holy Trinity. Yeah.
That is super cool. Manic Mike asking about Archangels. We have already hit that one. You want to one more time go over the
Sure.
Archangel plan?
So the Archangel plan is we have the 3 archangels that are known in the Bible are Gabriel the messenger, Michael the defender of hope, and then Saint Raphael, the herald of charity. So charity and love. So if you hear that, you're also going to know that I just named the three virtues, which is, hope, love, and charity. And then, oh gosh, what was up here? Yeah. So kind of show you. There's kind of the body. Can't show you. The head's kind
Oh
of
my gosh, he looks so good.
Yeah. So that's Gabriel. This was the actual in between design when we were kind of perfecting everything. But again, when you have well, they're not ready for production yet. Things will break.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, faith, hope, and charity. Sorry. And then the four horsemen are going to be based on our four fears and the four powers. So you have war, which is it's a war. Is the fire of adulthood. You have conquest, which is the water and earth, water and youth, and then you have famine, which is earth and old age, and then of course Azrael is going to be the wind and the final breath of life. The,
I'm putting in. So you're on YouTube. I know you have your YouTube channel at Almighty Legends. Facebook. Do you have any other channels?
so YouTube, yeah, and then we have Instagram right now is at Almighty Legends, and then we have a website which is pretty much right now I've kind of geared it so it's like a sign up page where I'm trying to grow the signups.
Yeah.
I right now have a contest with Instagram on Instagram page for to try to get me to what I call the road to 10,000 signups, which is right now I'm saying for if we get 1,000 signups, we're gonna do a nice little giveaway for people. We have some prizes and stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's very, very good.
Yeah.
Kenny Williman has a very good question. Will any of these include any bios or Bible verses?
Yes. Yeah. So part of what I'm doing too is they're going to be in the packaging. Well, I'm working right now to decide. You'll have the description of the character, and it'll have a Bible verse, and then I'm also working on a trading card set.
Oh, cool.
With I've got a few of our local comic book artists, Joseph Schmelke, Rich Woodall, and Keith Williams, who did he did Black Panther. So they've each done like an artist drawing of conquest, famine, and death and Azrael. So I'm putting those along with the character art into a trading card set. And again, what I'm doing is I'm going to sell that character the cards, and we'll raise money for the local charities as well.
That is awesome. I'm trying to keep track here. Someone asked a great question. Will the Kickstarter be available to ship internationally?
Yes, yeah, we're working with that right now to try to make sure that it's going to be able to ship internationally. We don't see a problem with it
Okay,
being,
awesome.
yeah.
That was New Zealand, so I would imagine that one shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Again, nice thing is I'm working with an actual production company where it's not just me saying, "Oh, here I go."
Yeah.
So
So
I
what's
actually
their
had,
role in everything? Just kind of let's do a behind the scenes. What do they do versus what's your role versus I know you said
so
you had a designer.
right. So you think of me, I think because I come from a film background, so I'm kind of the producer and director, and I have the production. I have a production designer or production manager, and he's kind of the guy that's going. He has already established relationships in China at manufacturers, and he has products um, in stores already at Walmart. He Power Kid Design. They did they have a lot of like the superhero friends and like the
Hmm.
more kitschy kitties toys like Baby Shark and those type of
That's gonna be
toys.
stuck in my head now all day. Dot dot dot
Dude,
dot dot. Dot.
yeah, so he handles like the production side of things, and then I'm basically for like the artwork and the designs and stuff like that. I've come up with the initial concept, saying like this is the way I wanted to design, this is the way I'm thinking, and then I have the original designer was Calvin Lowe. He did the actual original designs. We had back in 2016, which you might find like old photos. It used to be, it originally started as Almighty Collectibles, and then it became Almighty Legends. But Almighty Collectibles we still have. That's
That's
more the
awesome.
charity side. And then I hired the, just different artists and designers and stuff like that. They kind of help me with everything. And then I'm putting it all together with the Kickstarter as well.
Nice. There was a couple good ideas for you as far as marketing in the chat. A couple people said Knights of Columbus, which you talked about earlier. You're already part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Small Christian and Catholic stores. That's actually an interesting idea, like the St. Jude stores and whatnot.
Yeah. I've reached out a few of them. Again, once I start having something tangible to sell, they're more likely to let me sell at their stores. But again, it's going to be a matter of what my cost is and what they can sell it for, and if there's going to be a market for it. But I'm hoping, like, that's my goal, is really to reach out to like the mom and dad who want to get their kid something that's memorable and also meaningful, that
Yeah,
kind of teaches a lesson as well.
very cool. Da-da-da-da-da. All right, I think I'm finally caught up on the chat.
I
What?
see one
So
here.
what's that?
The Archangel version of Lucifer. So part of what
Hmm.
that is, Lucifer is going to be the accuser, so he's already fallen, and the design is going to be based on kind of like his armor has been broken. So you'll see some elements of that.
That's
So,
awesome.
but I would
Oh,
love to have a kind of a before and after. That would be
yeah,
cool.
that
That
would
was a
be.
plan, but again, I kind of have to.
Yeah. Almighty Legends t-shirts, are they available anywhere yet? We got that
We
question.
are working. I am working right now. Luckily, I get them at cost through a friend of mine who is also a toy collector, and I'm putting in an order right now for more of them. They sold out like right away.
That's awesome.
They also have a nice quote on the back for it's like a Mother Teresa quote about, you can feed. Don't worry about feeding 1,000 people. Just focus on feeding one. So
Awesome. Very cool. Uh, so from looking at some of the past Kickstarters in the last year and a half, seen some toy ones go swimmingly well and others not go so swimmingly well. And honestly, as I look at them, I pick them wrong every time. Like that skull that came out last year, I was like, I don't see this working.
oh yeah,
Funded,
Roboskull.
yeah, funded quickly. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I was wrong there. Shartimus's line, the Street Humans. I thought that
Mm,
was a super cool concept because people are always saying how they want uh, civilian looking characters, and his way of making that work, because you can only do that so much, was to have civilians with swappable heads to make them aliens in the skies. That
yeah.
one did not go great. What kind of lessons have you learned looking at all of them?
So looking at all them, I'm finding that, like, if I take like Shartimus's, he had a very high initial goal set.
Mm,
So it was like one that it was tough to get to.
yeah,
I'm trying to keep it low. Like, I'm trying to make ways so that, okay, I know that with my first line, I could lose a bunch of money. I know I'm going to be putting my own money into it. But if we can get to like my initial goal, we can get the funding for at least one or two figures, and then we can start working on stretch goals. We'll have money for the tooling, and we'll have money for the next one. And it's going to try. I'm trying to make it so that it's going to be a shorter way to get to the goals that we need.
yeah,
Um,
okay. So
part of,
for everybody
but
here, you want
again,
to kind of
okay.
explain what you mean by tooling?
So tooling, when you go into manufacturing, to be able to say, okay, we need the molds for like the armor pieces, the elbow joints, all these different pieces that go into it, to actually like to tool it, to design it, to make sure that for manufacturing that's going to work.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
that's actually the best description of it I've heard. Usually it's just, the joints or something like that. It's very good.
Yeah.
What is your goal as far as total backers? We're getting asked.
So right now, the um the initial goal is we're working on right now is about 96,000, and that will get us Azrael, and it will get us the tooling for Azrael and Gabriel.
Okay.
And then Gabriel, the next goal for him will only be, I think, another 36,000 to get to him.
Okay.
And then it will go down from there, because we're going to start working with like the customizable figures, trying to get those ones out there. And then we'll get to the 4 horsemen as well. And then the remainder of the three archangels is, you're kind of integrate them both, both within the goals in the Kickstarter. But again, my biggest fear, my biggest worry is getting me to that point to be able to get enough of a following. Because right now if I look at, the Instagram and the signups, I'm not there yet with those, where I don't have enough people saying, come check this out. This is going to, come take a look at it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I mean, yeah, definitely work on it. But I think what your big leg up is that you have some prototypes made.
Mm.
Like, Shartimus is a good example of like, he had the following, but he only had
Right.
artwork and some renders. So without the prototypes, I think a lot of people took that as they weren't even going to try. Like they weren't even going to give it the risk, which I wish they did. I wanted to see it. But
Mm.
Bobby, someone says consult Bobby Valla. Bobby knows his stuff. I got to call him today, actually. I need some more
Right.
Action Force stuff.
Yeah, no, I got the third wave that just came in. Those are nice.
Yeah, I got the shipping notice on them. So they
Nice.
should be here any day. I'm looking forward to those.
Nice.
The lady wave. It
Nice.
blows my mind like how like Hasbro will always say like, oh, the ladies don't sell these things. I don't know. They've been selling like hotcakes for me. Like I'm pre-sold out
Yeah.
on Kill Switch. Is Pandora the chick with the pink hair?
Yes. And
Yeah, I'm
they
pretty sold out on her.
the bloody version.
I like her. I feel like she'd be mean to me, but I probably like it. She's pretty interesting. Uh, let's see what else we got. Yeah, so who are you going to be on any other streams or podcasts coming up for to kind of get this out?
Yeah, I'm working. There's another one coming up, I think, next week. I can't remember the name of their Kickstarter. I should probably know that. But I have not Kickstarter, but their podcast.
Yeah.
Where'd it go? Yeah, so I have one coming up next week, and then I think I have another interview as well. So I'm kind of setting everything
Cool.
up as much as I can. So
Yeah.
and yeah, so I was actually reached out to someone, Jack Dan.
Oh yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, so he actually made a cool video for me.
Awesome.
Kind of put everything together, and then if we can get to like the 1,000 subscribers, or even if we can, I have a nice little 2-minute intro that kind of shows all the concepts that we have so far for the Kickstarter. It's kind of our, the launch video that we'll have in the Kickstarter video, or I guess it will be the intro to the Kickstarter. So.
Yeah, I might actually work with editor Epi, see if we can get something made for you too. So
Awesome.
we can get some extra stuff out there for you. I'm in on this line praying and hoping for it to work. Thank you, Manic Mike. Are you going to be at any cons or shows coming up?
Right now, I'm working on the New England shows right now. So it's
Okay.
going to be the New England circuit. I think just, working on my own, doing this myself, I've gotten to the point where I'm kind of like, I got to kind of cut down on everything and focus really on just getting this Kickstarter going and getting that thing off the ground. But no,
Yeah.
I have, I'll be doing like the New England Collectors and Record Show. That's coming up next month in March. And then in April, I'll be down in Boston at the Wicked Comic Con. Wicked Con, I think it's called. But yeah, that's a pretty big one that we have in Boston.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Yeah, I haven't been up that way in a while. There's a store up there that I love, though. That's Entertainment. I think it's in Worcester.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah. That's a good place right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to
Worcester.
have when I was working in distribution, I had a drop yard up there. So I would like look for excuses to be like, oh, I guess I got to go up north.
Yeah, there's another good one. Used to be really good. They kind of are still it's called Kamikaze. It was in Somersworth and outside of Boston.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people talking about the X-rays. I hope I'm saying that right. Combatants. Those things are awesome. I was too late. I tried to get my my hand in on some of them, but I talked to the creator. They were long gone.
Those are the Gladiator ones?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw those. Those are cool. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. So Which part of this process has surprised you the most?
Um, I've been going at this for about 6.5 years, and I'm always surprised. It's just a matter of, for me, I want to make sure everything's kind of planned out, because I freak out if I'm like, oh God, I forgot this thing or I forgot that. I want to make sure that everything's kind of set.
Yeah.
I think the biggest surprise is the support. Like, I haven't really, there hasn't really been a lot of negative feedback from like the shows I did last year, or the places I have gone. Um, it's just amazing, like how many people are really, supportive of this. And I think it's just great, that there's going to be something like this.
That's
It's
awesome.
really
So you
why
said you've been
I'm
working on it for years. What's the process look like? Like, what do you do first, second? Like, how do you
well,
even, how'd you do this?
so it all started with, so I reached out to Calvin because he was like a fellow customizer, and I knew he could like design stuff and draw. I asked him to help, and then one of my friends who was a customer of mine for my customs, he knows a bunch of stuff about biblical like stories, and also pop culture and how they kind of interact with each other. And he sort of was like our kind of like the initial funder for everything.
Okay.
We're kind of starting it all out, and just there's the three of us, and then they kind of things just everybody went kind of their separate ways, and I kept going at it, just saying, we got to do this. I didn't think, at one point I was like, you know what, it's just not going to happen. But I couldn't give up the faith. I had to see it through all the way. Luckily, I would always reach out to like my friends who were in the business. And luckily, with the help of Troy McKee, he was a Hasbro designer.
Okay.
I was like, I know I probably couldn't afford you because it costs a lot of money to be able to do this, and money was tight at the time, and it's just, who can you help me? Who can help me get this going? He said, well, check out Phil Albertin of Power Kid Design. He should be able to help you. And he was all on board. I met with Phil and just said, yep, let's do it. So
I think a lot of people don't realize how expensive all the parts you've already done of the process are. Like, I think a
yeah,
lot of people take that for granted. Like for those who don't know, those uh prototypes he held up. What was the price again on each one of those for you to have them made? Like 5,000-6,000.
$5,000, and it already, you got to be careful because they do
Yeah,
break.
they're prototypes. I mean,
Yep.
aren't prototypes like just basically 3D printed? Is that how those usually work?
Yeah, just like a hard plastic, and
Yeah.
they're not ABS. And it was just funny because I went to Joe Fest last year, and Jason from Animal Warriors of the Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
I had known him from when he was starting out at my two shows that I did. I was doing like some promotional stuff for him, like just handing out flyers and stuff like that. And I met him at the airport. I was showing him the design, and he took one of the wings and went, and just like the whole tip broke off. I was like,
Oh
oh
gosh,
no.
that's
But I mean, it's, it happens. So, but yeah, it's
yeah,
just
that's scary.
there's a lot of cost that goes into these.
I never had heard of Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. I'm looking at them now, and they look pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, the new ones are really cool. They have they're just coming out with a 6-inch style too.
Okay, what
So
were they before sized?
they were 4-inch figures.
Okay,
Uh,
1/18th.
I have one somewhere. That way. Nope, I don't have one in front of me. But yeah, no, I have they were 4-inch, but they're kind of smaller.
Yeah,
Um figure, but yeah, no, they're cool. And then they had just like different animals, and he's a comic book artist, so he had his own comic book story that went with it.
cool. Here's another cool question. I already know the answer, so I'll kind of say what is your what oversized figure do you dream of doing the most?
For oversized,
Yeah,
oh, I'd say Goliath.
yeah, that's kind of what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
that'd be pretty cool.
But also the nice thing with these is that the plan again was to go into like a 4-inch line with the actual testaments of the Bible, and have this base figure that we've already created to use it for giants and also for the Egyptian gods as well.
Yeah, that'd
So
be very cool. The
yeah,
Egyptian gods could be really interesting.
So we'll have that, and then I really want to work on like army builders, so you can actually build your own army. And then there was a video game that I drew inspiration from for the ideas for the Old Testament was it's called like the Five Warriors of Daniel or David. It's this really cool video game concept, and it was just kind of like they're like protectors of David. And they each have like their own like specialty.
That's
I
pretty
thought
cool.
that'd be a cool thing to put in there.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. So we just crossed the 1 hour mark. So I'm gonna see if anyone else has any questions, and then I'm gonna turn it over to you, sir, to give us another full recap for the people who joined late. But let me just give a quick question run here for people. More love for the Egyptian idea from Trippin' Ninja.
Cool.
Bladestar 2's looking forward to someday getting a Samson.
Oh,
Wolfpack has
yeah.
entered the chat. Not much, brother. Living the dream over here in our toy careers.
Oh yeah.
I love how slow the chat is. People type things in and it takes like 30 seconds for it to hit me sometimes.
Oh, really?
I switched to using Ecamm Live and it's been mostly good, but
Hmm.
this is always interesting.
And does this go on to like the YouTube, or how does it?
Yeah, so this is all. So we've been live on YouTube the whole time, and then what I do
Okay.
when we're done is like cut out the beginning, so like where we're just kind of saying, "All right, let's wait for people to
Yeah.
get here." So Toy Snowman, that's my buddy up in Canada. Says he can't wait to carry this line either.
Oh, I have these two. I was going to show.
Hmm.
This is the original prototype statue that we used. Speaking of Bobby Valla, it was sculpted. Calvin Lowe actually sculpted this on top of a Thor figure.
Oh, nice.
And this is the original Michael design.
Looks amazing.
And then I have
Absolutely
one
amazing.
for this one too. This is War.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
That looks great. That's.
Yeah.
Well, there's my winner. David displays model behaviors here. What's up, dude? Coming in towards the end. Yeah. So let's run through one more time everything. So we are talking the Almighty Legends action figure Kickstarter line that's coming soon to a Kickstarter near you. We're going to start off. Here is the boxing of the Bible. Real quick, run us through the box again.
So it's an old family Bible style. You open it up, you'll have the actual character design along with a description and a quote as well. On the spine is going to have like a volume number and then the name of the character and either a number or just the name. And then on the back, we'll have a description of the line, the picture of the character you're buying, and then again, we'll have the different ones that are going to be available. And it has, the page look so that when you put it on your shelf, it looks like, whoop,
Yeah.
you have them all lined up.
I like it. All right,
Yep.
let's look at some prototypes.
So prototypes, we have. So this is the newest one that we have right now. That's Azrael. There we go. So you'll see if you actually look carefully, if you kind of see it, but like the dents and scratches that are in his armor bits, they're designed to look like they're done by a smaller being, meaning like a human. So if they were in battle, they could be seen as giants as well. So fully articulated, over 34 points of articulation with the wings, and then the armor pieces, the legs, the gauntlets, the shoulder, the chest is all going to be removable. Right now, we're working on whether or not we're going to use like soft goods in the back or soft goods in the front, but I want to be able to integrate some soft goods as well. Gabriel lost his head. Here's the head. So they're going to come with two sets of two heads, two pairs of hands, and a weapon, and then an accessory. So with Gabriel, he'll have double-bladed halide, which is a historical Syrian, I believe they are. And then he has a shofar, which is an old Jewish Hebrew horn that they blew. And let's see if I actually have. Oh yeah, here you go. Azrael will come with a sword, and of course, his you can't be death without a scythe. Again, these are prototypes, so it's not going to be the actual final production. Whereas this comes in 2 parts. But yeah, you have.
Move it over to your right. There you go.
There we go.
Oh, that looks awesome.
So, and then he has the other handle that kind of fits right there. That'll fit in his. There we go. Yeah. And then see the wings. 2 sets of wings, upper and lower sets. So they are seraphim. So they have multiple sets of wings. Let's see if this the. Again, it's not production yet, so it's all loose. But the way I have it set up is that they'll be able to fold in onto in front of the figure, and then they'll actually fold up. And they're on a circular peg system, so they can actually rotate as well as flap. So you have a lot more like picture taking and just kind of design set up, and better for balance as well. And then the lower wings will have a smaller peg, and with a smaller peg for customizers, you can drill into a 4-inch figure like a boss fight, and you can put the actual wing in the back, and it'll still stand. And let's see. So that's what I have for right now, and then prototypes. Oh, and there's also going to be we're working on. It's going to be smaller, but this is the base stand that will come with it.
This is one of my favorite parts.
And then with this too is we're going to have it so that you can take a tap light you get at like Walmart or Target, one of those little circular lights. You can put it right there, tap it, and then this will light up. And part of it too is we're going to have it we're working on with some blank figures, and I really wanted to do it with the 4 horsemen, is to put them as a translucent figure with paint apps applied to it. So when you put it on here and light it up, you'll be able to kind of like see the just the translucence, and just everything kind of lights up within them.
I love it.
Oh, here's the. Let's see if I got this here. Oh yeah, so this is kind of show you that's the plastic skirting that we're kind of trying to integrate if we're going to use soft goods as well. We want to do soft goods, but I want to put like some sort of design element here, and then I have a sheath because he has a sword as well.
Get lots of positive comments. I'm assuming I'm the kingpin on the stream, and that is correct. I am.
I'm just the hairy guy.
Yeah, I haven't shaved in a couple of days, so rough estimate. If somebody wanted to go all in and get everything you have available for the initial Kickstarter, how much should they be budgeting total?
We're trying to keep it under 400.
Okay.
400 is like that mark where it's like,
yeah,
you go over 400, people aren't going to go all in.
Yeah.
Just again, I'm learning this as I kind of have been going, but I've also been trying to ask the right questions, with people who have had successful Kickstarters and those that even had, not successful Kickstarters. What went wrong? How could you improve it? What we need? What can I do to make sure that this is going to actually go through?
Yeah.
Because my the biggest worry and the biggest fear is it doesn't happen. But the nice thing is
what they
if it
say.
doesn't happen, you can still set it up for another one.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly. So, that's what I tell people.
Absolutely.
Say that at work.
Absolutely. And one last time, let's talk about the date and the significance of the dates.
So the Kickstarter is going to go live on 2/22/23. So the significance of that is actually the first day of Lent. So you have time to save.
Yeah. So 2/22/23.
Yep. So it's going to be a 45-day campaign. Again, the whole biblical, significance of it, with Lent being Jesus went to the desert for 40 days. You actually have an extra, 5 days.
But you're not in the desert and you're not thirsty.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Awesome. Well, everybody, I am sure that, hey, look at that. 1-6 shooters here. Of course, every time I go to say goodbye. I'm sure I'll have Daker back here again to talk Almighty Legends before we hit that Kickstarter. I'm sure he'll be making the rounds on all your favorite podcasts and channels here. So make sure you set a date. I have done it once already. I'll do it again right now. Make sure that you go sign up for his email list, because you need to get that list built up. All right.
Yep.
Even if you're not buying, just sign up for it so we can keep you informed. Maybe he'll change your mind as time goes and you see more stuff. So, yeah, thank you, everybody. Until next time, peace out and have a great rest of your day.
Cool.